Good morning. Good morning, pregame crew. It is Monday, September 20th, 2021. It is 6:21 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:21 a.m. Eastern Time. We will get started officially in 9 minutes. If you're logging on later in the day, you can fast forward about 9 minutes to get the actual live coverage. We will just be chit-chatting between now and then, doing a little housekeeping. How are y'all doing today? Hi, Roger, TR Kobe, Oromia, Christo Baron, Chuck, Chris. Good morning. Good morning. I can't sing, but good morning. We're gonna stay calm today, and we're gonna take every chart time frame by time frame, and we're gonna come up with a game plan for the day. I hope whatever trade you're already in, you have a plan. Thanks, Rob. Hi, Eric, Sean, David. Thanks, Chuck. I appreciate it. Yeah, the Evergrande stuff is really hitting hard. We have FOMC this Wednesday. We have a lot of news trickling in, so I was really clear to write this morning, be more patient with oversold bounces. This is news related. Things can go down a lot further than we think they can go. Hey, Tammy, good morning. Oh, yeah, I forgot to post the pregame link and tweet it out. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, hit the like button, please. If you don't follow me on Twitter, I am ChartGal Lori. Pretty easy to find. I sometimes post setups there that I don't post in the room, or sometimes I post a lot of times I post in the room and I don't tweet it, but be patient, stay calm. If you are not a good bearish trader, that's okay. You can just step away, keep your hand on your wallet. You don't have to do anything. That's the beauty of being a retail investor. We're not prop traders. We don't have to trade every day. So if trading bearish or even oversold bounces are not your forte, then you just watch and observe and take notes. And then start creating a shopping list. I have a shopping list. Here's my shopping list if you want to see it. Here's my tickers for the day. You can see my list 9/20/21. The pink ones, I want to long-term swing these, so I'm looking for dip buy opportunities, and I'm going to be super patient. So like ASAN, it's on my swing shopping list, and I have my alert set for the daily, like right between the daily and 8/21 EMA in that zone. I may buy it before then, I don't know, but the pink is my shopping list. So you could just spend time building a shopping list and say, okay, I really like this chart, and y'all know I like this chart. I've talked about it a lot. It had this base, let me change my pen color. It had this base breakout on earnings, and I was hoping for it to come back for a buying opportunity, and it hasn't come back. So you could spend your time just looking for healthy charts and looking for those pullbacks to buy, or just watching charts and then paper trade them. Hope you're having a great morning. It is my anniversary today. Been married 8 years. He made it. He survived. Oh, thanks, Chris. You know that stock traders are the only people who don't like to buy stuff on sale. Isn't that weird? Like if I go to Target and I see 2 shirts I like and one's on sale, I'm going to buy the one on sale. I'm a discount shopper. We're the only people or profession that does not like to buy things cheaper. Isn't that weird? This is some crazy stuff happening in China. FOMC has fear in the market for Wednesday. VIX is spiking. I'm not saying go buy everything up. I'm just saying the market will find a bottom. It will reset, and we will wait for hourly and 4-hour trend changes to tell us and bull volume to start stepping in, and then we'll know it's time to buy things on sale. Thank you, Curtis and Sean and Dice and Crypto. I think he got the short end of the stick. He puts up with me, so. Hey, Ra. Good morning. 3 more minutes, we'll get started. I'm going to go back to ES so you can see my write-up. I'm sorry it's so busy. Maybe I'll find a different charting tool or mechanism. I've told you I've tried one. I forget what it was called, but an editor. I really don't like TradingView's text. I don't like a lot of the drawing tools, but this is what we have to work with for today. So I'm going to slide this on over, not that. Try to get it to where it's legible. There we go. If you're interested in my chart setup, it's on the screen. Yellow and purple are 50 and 200 simple moving average. Green and red, 8 and 21 EMA. Yellow candles are the JC inside bars. CM Ultimate RSI multi-time frame. The orange RSI is the daily, and it's plotted on whatever time frame I'm on. And then the blue is with the corresponding time frame, and I use the Squeeze Pro indicator by Makito. So I'm going to clear that off. If you're just now joining, I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community. We teach technical analysis. You have found yourself at the pregame show. I go over the Fab Four futures, commodities, cryptos, movers, and shakers of the day. It's going to be a weird one, folks. It's going to be odd. You got to have a game plan. So the way that I start my day is I separate my watch list into 2 different lists. Which name is holding last week's low? That goes in the strong bucket. Which ones are losing last week's low? They go into the weak bucket, and I want to short those bounces. We're looking for hourly oversold bounces at open. We're really, really beat up, and we're coming into another support. We have a sneaky support over here, 43.41.50, and then we have another one at 43.10. So we are really beat up, but again, this is news related. It can go a lot lower than we think, so be patient. Bears are going to be waiting for those bounces on those weaker names like the Dow. When the Dow can cool off some of these RSI oversold bounces and bounce up, it would be an awesome opportunity to short it. It's super weak. But we got to get those bounces going first before you can feel comfortable shorting here, because you're shorting in the hole. ATER, yeah, that's a big Reddit name. I will take a look at it before I officially get started over here. All right, will do. I'm going to go a little bit longer today. How about that? So Dan, Charting Man Dan, will be live in 31 minutes in the Chart Guys room. He goes over the market setups that he's watching, and then he goes over our member requests. They have a thread and they just request charts, 1 per person, and he'll get to 2 charts per person if time allows. So I'm just going to go a little bit longer today and just provide a little more coverage to see if we can get a really good plan going. ATER pulling back 5%. Looks like it had a big bounce on Friday, and we could end up with an inside bar. So that's what I'm looking at on charts that had wide ranges last week. If we're opening up in the middle of that range, then odds favor an inside bar. So for ATER, odds favor a daily inside bar. That would be a good hold. If we lose 914, that would be super bearish on this name. But just opening up in the middle of last Friday's range, we had 11% move, and we've pulled back almost exactly half. So that does rule out a bull flag. So let me say that again. Let's look over here on the right. ATER, 11% bounce, and it's given up half. So by giving up half, we've ruled out a bull flag opportunity. So bulls blew it. We're already actually reaching the 618 area. So now we look for potential EQ. So we have enough room for a higher low compared to Friday's low, but we could just EQ within this all day long. So I wouldn't see a buying opportunity well, we could have tightening ranges and you could possibly short within that, but usually if you have an inside day, it could be a little more unpredictable. Healthy Mindsets, it is a Reddit name. ATER is mentioned on Reddit a lot. I watch swaggystocks.com. They have a WSB, Wall Street Bets, top 25 names. And so ATER is a Reddit name. It is heavily followed. Doesn't mean it's a bad, I'm not saying it's a junker. I don't know what it is. Packaged software, who knows? I'm just saying it has a lot of crowd hype around it. That's all. All right. I guess we can officially get started now, even though I've covered my list. We are beat up. We're beat up on the hourly. We're beat up on the 4 hour. And on the daily, we are approaching oversold. And it may take us to that level. Let's see what that level is. So I'm going to clear all my notes off. So what is the daily oversold? So 430910, 430950, sorry, 430950, that would be daily oversold. So we could head straight to that level and we could keep dropping because again, this is news related. So we're going to be more patient with these oversold bounces. I actually would prefer for it to continue dropping into open, and then once it opens, then get a little bounce going. But jumping in now, you're just going to get cut. You're going to get cut up trying to catch falling knives, and the goal is to catch it. If the goal is to catch an oversold bounce, you wait for this bear volume to start drying up, and you wait for the eyes of your friends. You want to see the whites of the bull's eyes, and they are nowhere to be found. Absolute complete pressure. Look at this 2-minute EMA, how price is not even touching that 2-minute EMA. We have an air pocket between price and that 2-minute EMA, just showing the severity of this drop. Looking at the 4 hour, we just kickstand over. Last Friday, I was explaining to you, like when those EMAs start pointing down, I see it like a motorcycle kickstart, and it just pushes price down. And same thing to the upside as well. When the SOTIMA slope of the EMA starts pointing down so severely, we get in these waterfall conditions. So 4309 would be daily oversold, and that may be an area where the bleeding stops. But for right now, you don't have to do anything. So your next support, 430950, would be daily oversold, and you have a support at 4310. Let me mark that. 4310. And very patient bears would like to see a bounce up. You don't want to see a 50% retrace. So let me just draw this real quick. Wherever we stop, and let's say we get a 5-minute trend change. 5-minute trend change, then we can fib out, find the pivot high to the pivot low, and then mark that 0.382. In this case, if we were to stop right here in the bleeding stop with a 5-minute, I'm going to say this a little slower because I go so fast, I'm sorry. So with ES, with this oversold bounce, when we find a bottom, we're going to wait for the 5-minute trend change, and then we can draw some fibs and estimate about a 0.382 pop. That would be a ideal dead cat bounce, and you could look to go short in that area. And don't forget about these left side numbers. So even though we've broken those supports, they could be resistance on the way up. So if we come back to, let's pretend like the bottom is in. I'm just walking you through oversold bounces. Let's pretend the bottom is in and we bounce to 4406. That's a 50% retrace. Then we would be looking for a higher low. Hope that makes sense. VIX has done some gnarly things. It has broken this weekly falling wedge to the upside. So I am admitting to you, I am not a VIX expert. It is very confusing to me. I chart VIX on TOS, and TOS shows like an 8%. Let me go look at it real quick. An 8% increase. 1 second. It's up 10% now. So VX futures is up 10%, and this index is up 28%. I know we had a rollover last week, so it's pretty confusing that these numbers aren't matching up, but just make sure you know the instrument that you are trading, that you understand it. I don't, so I don't trade it often. However, I would be looking for some UVIXY puts after Wednesday. If we keep spiking today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, typically when VIX has a 3-day spike over here, it was a little exception, we could do something like this, and we get that max peak fear, that's when I want to short it. So that is on my shopping list this week are UVXY puts. And I would be looking at least 45 days out. So then that pushes me into November. So I would probably look at the November monthlies and I would be looking for UVXY puts. And let's say UVXY gets up to $30. Personally, I would love for it to get $30. Now remember, when I say I want a bearish trade or I want VIX to spike, I understand that there are millions and millions of us that have IRAs, and overall it is not good for the market to go down for those accounts. I'm not talking about that. My heart bleeds for all older people when their IRA starts dropping. What I'm talking about are trading opportunities, and with UVXY, if we could get up to $30, $35, $40 even, I will be looking to short it. And the way you do that is all technical. You don't try to guess when the top is. You say, okay, when that hourly higher high stops and we lose that higher low, then I will enter UVXY puts. I hope that makes sense. Nasdaq. Okay, so I have left this on my chart, that 4-hour megaphone. We were all over it last week. Wasn't that fun? So today, whenever we find a bottom and we start bouncing and things start looking peachy, look where I have my alert set for Nasdaq. I have it at the bottom of this trend line. So if we come back up and test this area, I will be looking to go short. Now, that would be bullish if we retrace this entire bounce back up into this area. That would be somewhat bullish, but I would still look to short 153.10 area or 15300. I would be looking to short that area if we were to come back up into that. I'm actually going to delete this all. I'm going to delete it. So we have fired to the downside on this squeeze. You see these red histograms? When we get Burger King histograms, the red, yellow, below the momentum line, that shows that bearish momentum, which we obviously see in price as well. But when something squeezes, does a bull break or a bear break, it typically gets 7 to 8 bars of follow through. We only have 3 so far. So we could get, what is that? So 4 or 5, 16 to that. We could get up to the next 24 more hours of bearish downside, and we'll have relief bounces. We will have relief bounces. The relief bounces are one of two things. It is bears covering, or it could be both, bears covering and bulls start buying. But for now, all bounces, you got to think in the bearish mindset of bear flags. Just look for bear flags, bear flags, bear flags. And I don't have a lot of time to monitor the chat. We have some awesome mods in there. I see y'all answering questions. Thank you. And they will answer your questions. I will save time at the end. Actually, I'll save a little more time than I usually do at the end to answer your questions because I want you to feel good about your plan going into today. Crypto's really taking a beating here. Let's go look at crypto. Did we lose that level? Yes, we lost. Bitcoin lost the 428 level. We hit 42,500. We're bouncing right now. That's not a big break. So let's see if the crypto bulls can recover from this at all. So again, just like with the indices, we are looking for just bear flags. All it's going to be is relief bounces where the bears go to cover, and the bulls could start buying, and that will have to be proven with an hourly trend change with follow through, because we know we can get an hourly trend change and then just peek our head above that high and still fall back down with a bear flag break fake out. We see it happen all the time on bull flags and bear flags. So any bounce will look to be shorted on Bitcoin until the bulls really start showing up with volume. So your key resistance on Bitcoin now, your 15-minute is 44042, and then above that 45277. Ethereum losing that key support. Let me go back out. 3009, we dropped below it. This is more meaningful here. This is a more meaningful break on Ethereum. So caution on Bitcoin. Your next support is 289250. Your resistance 3069. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the Nasdaq. We talked about the plan here, what we're looking for. So now on Dow is really destroyed here. Daily RSI is approaching oversold. 33623 is the key support. We're having a 676 down day. Guys, I know my mods know. What is the circuit breaker for the market? Anybody know what? I'm going to post in the room 1 second. Anyone know them offhand? So we are down 600 points. I know we have circuit breaker levels. We're not close to them right now, but I want to have them on my chart just to know. Circuit breaker means where they just stop trading temporarily to kind of calm things down and people to gather themselves and their wits. So I don't know what those levels are. We're down 678 points in the Dow. 33623. I want to know when that hits because I can't watch all charts at all times. So tell me right before we get to this support, and let's see if we can get a relief bounce. Now I would just do any oversold bounce trade that you're taking is counter trend. And yes, I'm punching my hand trying to drive this home. Counter trend trades are not meant to be a swing. Counter trend is just that, counter trend. Trend traders have more peace in their lives. If you just go with the trend, don't fight the chart. This trend is down. So if you take an oversold bounce on Dow, then bears are going to be waiting. They'll be waiting here, 34171. If we get over that, they'll be waiting here, 3400. When we come out of this spiral, bears will be waiting. So quick flips on oversold bounces, scale out into strength so you could put your stop below the low and make it a little bit better than break even so you can stay in profit. RTY beat the I didn't curse. So daily RSI is not oversold. We have a level from over here. I was looking on the 4 hour for RTY 214810. Don't forget to look left, and those prior levels, even though they were broken, they still could come in play because price has memory. So 214810 is a level I'm watching today. Let me set an alarm. And if all of these could come into those key supports at once, can't type. My microphone is in the way and I can't type with both hands on the keyboard. It makes it a little more challenging. So your resistances on any relief bounces are 218960, 2201, and 2207. So I'm just going to type this out so we can be on the same page. When we get a 5-minute trend change, and I don't know when that's going to happen. It could be the end of the day. We could just go down the rest of the day. But when we get a 5-minute trend change, we can draw fibs, swing high. And if you don't draw fibs, that's okay. Just get out a calculator. If it's a 100-point drop, then say, okay, around 38 points bounce is when I'm going to look to short. Swing high, low, 0.382 resistance. Because if you are in an oversold bounce and we start approaching that 0.382, then we need to know we really need to be very protective of those longs, because that's when bear flags are in play. Okay. 7%. Oh, thank you, Phil. Okay, so here's the circuit breaker. Phil, did you write it in? Thank you, thank you. Okay, so that's me, chart guys. I just posted 411150 on ES, so we got a ways to go. Long ways to go. But with the Dow, I wonder what the Dow, we may hit it because it's just so weak. I was looking at names like, let me save this. Computer's freezing, 1 second. Usually when it freezes like this, I'll get a message. Someone will tell me to look over here that there's an update. Yep. Okay, so that's why I'm freezing. Okay, so Deere. I was looking at John Deere and Caterpillar for potential oversold bounce trades, and we have lost this level on John Deere 34476. We're opening up around 339 right now. Your next support is 32893. Just really getting demolished. So the names that could help prop the Dow up, like Apple, Deere, Caterpillar, they're just getting decimated. Caterpillar, We are in 4 hour oversold. 4 hour RSI is 19. 193, and we're opening up below this key level 19923. So, and Apple looks terrible. So I posted this weekend in the TCG room. If you're not a member, you didn't see it. Ugh. There we go. Well, Apple is 2.4 trillion market cap. 2.4 trillion market cap. It is equal to all of IWM. The entire Russell Index market cap is below Apple's market cap, meaning that 2,000 companies could rally from here to kingdom come. And if Apple is down today, it will still pull the market down. Do you know how that math for me? I'm doing my mind blow. It's just mind blowing. Huge market cap. Apple is so super, super critical to this market. And I set an alert this weekend, 144.50, and now we are opening up below that. 142.54 is key. So now I'm going to go set an alert for that. 142.70. Apple support approaching. So y'all know what's going to happen. I'm setting all these alerts. And if I start getting all of these alerts at once, I'm going to back off any shorts, because that means everything is arriving at support. I set an alert on RTY, on Dow, on Apple. So if these levels hold, price starts coming into them hot, and then we get a 5-minute trend change, that may be when our relief bounce starts. So Apple is beat up. But how many people do you think have Apple on their shopping list? I do. I would love to own Apple. I haven't owned Apple in a while, and I missed this major run. I missed it. I want to own it. So 141.35, that is the weekly 21 EMA. At this moment, all we are doing is weekly mean reversions. When things mean revert, it's just they're coming back to touch home base. I kind of think of it as like going to tag. Like if you're playing baseball and you have to go tag the base before you run, they're just coming to tag it, touch it. Okay, now everything's settled down. All the sellers got that out of their system, and then we could possibly go back to the upside. And that's the same thing with ES. We are just doing a mean reversion. Look at this. The 21 EMA is at 4319. So we are losing this weekly support, 4347. I would say a $7 flush so far is not a bear break yet. We need more follow through, but right now the bears have all the momentum. So 4319. Sorry, I was getting messages. That would be the 21 EMA, and that would just be a mean reversion. So before you start throwing the baby out with the bathwater, if you are a longer term investor, you welcome this reset so you can buy things a little bit cheaper. Okay, gold. Gold, double bottom on the daily, and it has enough room for a higher low. I've said that before about gold, and gold still, when it took this puke over here from that overnight margin where we opened up and people got liquidated on gold, which happens a lot. People have gold in their portfolio, and that's usually the first thing that gets liquidated or the first thing they sell when they need to cover margin. So we did not hit the low. Sorry, we did not hit this low. Which low did we hit? It's a 4-hour double bottom. Yeah, sorry. Not a daily double bottom. Scratch that. 4-hour double bottom, the 1745, 1742. We came within $3 of it, and we bounced. And on the hourly, we've bounced enough to get a higher low. Next resistance, 1767. Gold needs the dollar to sit down. The dollar needs to sit down in order for gold to go higher. And oil needs the dollar to sit down. It's taking a beating. So we held this 69.98. We broke through by 17 cents, and now we're getting a nice bullish candle bounce. Oh, that was a nice little tweezer bottom in there. We're getting over this 15-minute high, 70.53. Our next resistance is 71.08. So with gold bouncing, yeah, the dollar is sitting down a little bit. So that's why gold's bouncing and gold and oil are bouncing. Okay, so Bitcoin getting a little bit of a relief bounce here. We went over Ethereum. It's weaker. Dan will be live in 10 minutes. Now I'm going to start with my ticker coverage. I've already gone over Apple and how important it is, and we are right here at that low We're at 142.96. 142.96. We must hold 142.54. It's a Mars level. You can see it from Mars. So that's where the bulls will step in. If they want this, they need to step in right there. If not, stops will get taken out, and then it's like pushing a fence down, and then the cows run to the next pasture. So we knock this fence down, and they're running to this pasture. We knock that fence down, they're running to this pasture. I hope that makes sense. Apple has to stop the bleeding for the market to bounce. Everybody needs Apple to bounce. Everybody. Excuse me. Adobe. Where's my notes? Adobe, coverage initiated. That's not an upgrade now. When coverage is initiated, that just means they're starting to say, okay, we think Adobe is a buy. So they're not upgrading it, they're just initiating it. But their price target was $7.70. I always pay attention when the upgrade or price target given is much higher than price. I call that a more meaningful upgrade. I forget who this morning. Somebody got an upgrade from $24 to $25 this morning. That's not an upgrade. That's negligible. And maybe it is, and maybe it means something, but I just pay a little bit more attention. They have earnings tomorrow, and they're holding last week's low. So I started this whole Michigas with, if the market, you separate your names into which names are holding last week's low and which ones are breaking last week's low. They get bifurcated. They're then in two separate lists. And I want to short the ones that broke last week's low. And for oversold bounces, I want to look for the ones that are holding last week's low. Adobe has earnings tomorrow. They've had a big run into earnings from their last earnings. How much are they up? Y'all, I'm sorry, I'm kind of nasally. I hate listening to people who are nasally. 24% run since last earnings. That means they have to beat earnings expectations because the buyers over here have already priced in a 24% increase since last earnings. So they really have to beat and do some good things in order to go higher. But this dip may be perceived to be a dip buying opportunity into earnings tomorrow. And to confirm that earnings are tomorrow, y'all, I never trust TradingView, but I saw it on a Twitter handle that I trust, Options Millionaire. I was looking at the implied move for earnings. So this would be a dip buy opportunity, a dip buy candidate for me. Adobe, support 64376, 64246. And the first support would be the low of this morning. Oh, sorry, so this one got negated. For 64350, 64350 for a dip buy, and wait for high of low bar. If you haven't watched Dan's stair step video, today's that day. Just stop before the market opens or whatever and watch that video. We have so many setups at high of low bar. We just have these flushes, and we just wait for these candles that have multiple candles down to get a high of low bar break, and then you put your stop below that low and you enter long and you stay with that trade. Okay, ASAN, I said, is on my shopping list for the week. I like this chart. It may need to consolidate even down to $100, but it's not a today thing. When I bring y'all names, it's not all about the opening drive trade. We have those trades. We have trades that have nice volatility that may give us a day trade sometime in the day, and then we have long-term names. This is on my shopping list for the day. This is a pre-market mover. So pre-market mover, watch for tightening ranges. We sure have pulled back a lot. Yeah, this one may EQ out now today because we've given back so much. But just watch for tightening patterns to potentially trade this one. Your new support is 540. I don't trade names like this, but I know a lot of you like these small cap runners and y'all like to trade the EQs or whatever it may be. So I'm just giving you a couple names. And even though this support was broken of $7, I like to, when we have this key level that was hit, even if we're below it, I want to keep it on my chart because I need to know that's where a lot of volume went off to make that price pivot. Resistance 770, 790, support $7, 693, 690. So this one could give you some high of low bar trades, some stair step trades, some back burner trades, EQ patterns. So inside bars, whatever your style is. Let me go back to BIIB. These biotech names are they sometimes are confusing to digest and interpret the news. This name had awesome news this morning, but obviously it was already priced in, and maybe the company had already reported that FDA approval. But we have daily oversold looking, so we are daily oversold. RSI is 28. We are looking for a monthly higher low. So we're coming into that monthly 50. So typically when you have a monthly higher low situation, daily's oversold, you can look for a dip buy. Now, we don't want to be dip buying on a blood red day. We don't want to make a habit of it, but if this holds Friday's low, it would be a low risk trade, meaning it pulls back to that level. You can enter long and put your stop 20, 30 cents below this, and then your stop is so close by. If you get stopped out, fine, because you minimized your risk. Sorry. Sorry. Yep. FIL is bouncing. We do have some crypto bounces going. Okay. BNTX. Let's get the larger time frame. Positive news this morning on the vaccine. Positive response in 5 to 12-year-olds or 5 to 11-year-olds. I'm not sure. Not a vaccine comment. Nothing political here. But I like this name for a dip buy. We just have to watch this hourly bear flag potential. So if we can hold 339, it could be a dip buying opportunity on BNTX. I like this chart on the longer term time frame. It had positive news, but we just got to be cautious of this hourly bear flag. You may be able to get a bull trade out of this in oversold ES conditions, with ES being oversold. What are we doing there? Okay, we're still holding that 4341 key level to hold. You may be able to get a trade out of this one. All right, Netflix. Now, I say every day I don't use trend lines, and I'll be damned if every single day I don't come in here and I have a trend line on one chart. So I guess I am a liar and I do use trend lines, but I only like the ones that are super, super obvious. And this one for me on the hourly is so super clear. It is above Friday's low, fighting to hold the trend line, relatively strong compared to peers. So I know I'm guilty of it too, of lumping in Netflix, Google, Facebook, Apple. They are not the same thing. Of course, they're not the same company, but Netflix is part of XLC, the communication sector. It can separate. If XLK is puking it up, or QQQ, Netflix can do its own thing, and that's what we see it doing. So you have support at 582.40, 580.85, resistance 586.50, and 589. Remember XLF, I didn't put these on my list today, but I did post in the room. XLF had a dividend of 16 cents this morning, and XLE had a dividend of 59 cents. So they look pretty beat up, and oil's bouncing. Actually, I like XLE in the way it's positioned here, with oil bouncing and this dividend artificially bringing down price. This actually could be a dip buy opportunity. I was looking at names like Halliburton, Schlumberger, Exxon. I was trying to bring this XLE name. I couldn't find the ideal setup, but this may be a dip buy opportunity with hourly RSI at 13 with that dividend backed out. I actually like that a lot for a Queen of the Mountain trade. Netflix bullish for Queen of the Mountain trade. I went over why, 586.50, 589. Pfizer, positive news with that BNTX on the vaccine. Looking for a weekly higher low, and the 4-hour is oversold. And so this, I'm taking some creative liberties. We did get a little low here by 9 cents, but that does not a pivot make. So I'm counting this still in a weekly uptrend, and Pfizer is 4-hour oversold. I like this potential dip buy opportunity this morning. So you see what I'm after. I'm after names that are technically set up well for this oversold bounce, and they have 2 or 3 conditions combined, like a weekly higher low, looking for it with a 4-hour oversold plus positive news. So again, I wake up every morning, all the puzzle pieces are strewn all over the ground, and I just start picking them up. And this is the best puzzle I could put together for y'all this morning. SDC went over that trading opportunity. Tesla. Okay, so you got to bear with me here. This is some of my TCG-ness is going to come out. You know, my TCG is showing. Here we go. I'm going to make this a little bigger. Last week's price action range was so wide. we could very well end up with a weekly inside bar, which is rare for Tesla. Let's look at this weekly chart. Look at this. Since April, we have had 2 inside weeks. So inside weeks are not normal. But last week we had a $53 range. That's pretty wide, and we're opening up within last week's range, not Friday's range, the week's range. So what would I do with this information? We touched the 0.618, but we're at the 50% retrace. You could look to sell iron condors. So Tesla is one I'm not going to do that on, okay? But if I found this setup in another chart with a wide range last week and we're opening at the 50% retrace, odds favor an inside week. So with that inside week, I could sell an iron condor, and it's actually an iron butterfly, but I could look to sell. Okay, so where are we? 730. Okay, yeah, let me map this out for you. So I would look to do the 730, 760 calls and the 730, 700 put to sell. Again, I don't like doing it on Tesla. Tesla can have news and rip your face off, but selling iron condors is an income strategy where you're selling the premium and saying, I think it's going to stay within this range. I don't cover these things enough with y'all. It's just limited time, and it can be overwhelming for some of you who don't trade options, but for those that do, I really want to start painting strategies for you to add to your toolbox, because buying calls and puts is a loser's game overall because the game is rigged against you. Selling calls and puts and beating them at their own game. And watch how many times you go to sell an iron condor and they won't fill you. You have to keep adjusting the price because they don't want to fill you. They don't want to share the money. They're pigs. They don't want to share the money. So, iron condor idea on Tesla, caution because it's Tesla. SPY, we're beat the up. Hourly RSI is 15. Now remember, this chart is not kosher because of that dividend situation. But don't lose track of your Friday lows on any name. I would even use this low. On any bounce up, you would be looking to short that. On any bounce up toward the prior day low, that becomes a clear resistance level to short. Prior support turning into resistance. QQQ, beat up. Keep it down for 27 more minutes. Dan's live, by the way, TCGers, if you want to go listen to Dan, the man, the goat man. So QQQ, we have a lot of price history in this 364 level. 363, 364, that could be a potential support area if we were to reach that range. 4-hour RSI 28. And I didn't move TMO up. Sorry. This is a beautiful chart. I don't know why it popped up if it had news, but this is a bull flag potential. So I would do high of low bar trade or a back burner trade. So there's 3 ways to trade this. High of low bar, 5-minute oversold, back burner, or if the market starts bouncing quickly when we open, you just set a level. Okay, over this, let's see, 5983. Let's just make it easy. Over $600, you could say, I'll go long. So you pick a price resistance, and when the bulls step up and beat it, you say, okay, I'll go long there. I'll go long on a high of low bar trade setup, or I'll go long on a 5-minute back burner setup. Whatever tickles your fancy. Okay. Now I'm going to go over your request. This is a Queen in the Mountain setup, by the way. TMO. Hey, sissy. My daughter is in the room. Okay. What do y'all need from me? Any request? I need to change it to live chat so I can see. It goes out of order. Yep, Dan is on. Okay, I have time for one request. One request. Going once. Going twice. I like Tesla, Chris. I like that chart. I really do. AMD for John Doe. Okay, AMD is losing this key support 101.98. However, we are sitting on this daily 50 MA. If we get a candle close above the daily 50 MA, I am in favor of an AMD long if the market can get its act together. And we still have FOMC Wednesday, so just be careful, be cautious out there. Hourly oversold, I like it long actually for an hourly oversold bounce. And your resistances, 102.18, 103.60, 103.95. That's it for me. Thank you for joining. TCGers, let's go listen to Dan.